Hey guys, what is up? It's Antonio. Welcome back to another episode here on Gladiator Disc Golf. Today, I have a brand new video that we've never done anything like before. Today we have a skins match hole preview, okay? So the way it's going to work is that I will be walking you through all the holes that we will be playing actually tomorrow from the time that I'm recording this, and hopefully this video is dropping soon. So we're going to go through the holes, OB, par, how long each hole is, and then the sponsors for each hole, and so giving them an early shout out with that. Super excited about this, guys. It is incredible how much support has come my way. You guys are awesome. New to my channel, I want to welcome you. Thank you so much for coming and stopping by. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Alrighty guys, let's go ahead and let's talk about the holes and the sponsors for each hole. Hole 1 is par 3, 297 feet. This hole is pretty challenging. There's a lot of trees right off the tee pad and you have to navigate a lot. So definitely I think getting par on this hole is going to be a great way to earn some skins. There is OB Creek on the left the entire way down, and that creek eats up a lot of discs. And there's an OB sidewalk long and a little bit to the right of the basket. So if you go long and to the right, you'll be hitting OB sidewalk. This hole is sponsored by a very close friend of mine, Hitesh Shah. Hitesh, he's been my friend since we were in elementary school or middle school. Longtime friend, he knows all the guys on the card here. So we're looking to have a blast today. Cannot wait. Thank you so much, Hitesh, for supporting me and supporting this channel. Hole 2 is par 3, 314 feet. It is absolutely vital that you get off the tee on this shot. You cannot be short on this hole because you'll end up in the creek. So obviously the creek is OB, and if you somehow go long on this hole, there is a road, and that will be OB as well. This hole is sponsored by Robbie Crawford Disc Golf Tips. If you don't know Robbie, you need to check him out on Instagram and YouTube. Links in the description below. Awesome guy, a lot of great content, very educational, and is doing so much to help people get better at disc golf. Thank you, Robbie, for the support. Hole 3 is a par 3, 264 foot hole. Super cool hole here because it's a nice little tunnel shot. You can go around the trees and over the road, but that road is OB, and if you hit those power lines like so many people do, you will be out of bounds. This hole is sponsored by none other than the Disc Golf Podcast. I've been listening to this podcast for a few years now. Joe and Robin are awesome guys. They do a famous deer review where they take a disc, they take a beer, review them both, and let you know whether you should bring them out on the course. Not only are they sponsoring this hole, but with their money, they've also put down $15 extra for a CTP. So this hole is worth 25 bucks. Hole 4 is a par 3, 374 foot shot. Pretty tricky par 3 with OB Creek on the right, and it seems out of play, but so many shots end up going into that creek, so it's super important that you stay to the left, the middle and the left of this fairway. This hole is sponsored by Kyle O'Neill, and Kyle O'Neill is a Slack member on the Disc Golf Podcast. So what's really cool is the Disc Golf Podcast, the previous hole's sponsor, has a Slack group, and Kyle is in that Slack group, and he's sponsoring this hole. Thank you so much, Kyle. And this just goes to show you guys what the disc golf family is like. Thank you, Kyle, for your support. Hole 5 is a par 3, 305 foot shot. A fairly technical shot, definitely a little forehand flex shot or a backhand hyzer flip that just kind of stays straight and with a baby fade at the end. This hole is 305 feet long, so it's super gettable for a birdie. This hole is sponsored again by another Disc Golf Podcast Slack member, Bryce Cook. Bryce grew up in the area, he's familiar with these courses. Thank you so much, Bryce, for the support and just showing once again what the disc golf community is like. Hole 6 is the first par 4 of the day, only 394 feet. You might be saying, why is a hole par 4 under 400 feet? Well, there's an OB ravine about 375 feet up the fairway. So it really makes you decide, are you going to lay up or are you going to try and crush a disc 400 feet to get to, at this point with the par 4, an eagle look. So super cool hole. OB Creek on the right and OB Road long as well. This hole is sponsored by none other than OTB Discs. Thank you, OTB Discs, for all that you do, providing not only me, but everybody else with fantastic discs. Make sure you guys use the discount code GLADIATOR-DG for free shipping. Hole 7 is a par 3 321-foot shot, pretty low ceiling shot, and you really have to juice a disc to get there. It plays deceivingly long, so you really got to decide if you're going to go over the road, which is OB, or if you're going to go straight and low and settle up on the mulch. The mulch will eat your disc up, so it's not really going to skip a whole lot. This hole has a disc CTP by Stewart. Stewart is donating a fresh Paul Macbeth ESP Malta, and whoever gets the CTP here, Stewart's going to ship that disc to them. Thank you, Emmanuel Castellanos, for sponsoring this hole. I hope I said your last name right, Manny. Thank you so much. Manny is our Christmas giveaway winner from a few months back. Thank you so much for the long time support, Manny. I really appreciate it. Hole 8 is a par 3 287-foot shot. Super cool shot. Obviously you have this little ravine right in the front here. That's going to be OB, which shouldn't be an issue getting over. That will come more into play on hole 16. But this hole is sponsored by none other than Wave Tools Therapy. They are a great physical therapeutic company that is looking to help people take care of their bodies. Make sure you check them out. I've done a review over them a few videos back, so check that out. And if you use discount code GLADIATOR-DG15, you get 15% off and free shipping. Awesome products, awesome stuff. I love my Wave Tool and my suction cups. Last hole here on the front 9 is a par 3 303-foot shot, OB Road to the left, and a Mando about 260 up the fairway. You gotta be to the left of the Mando. Comes into play because hole 10 is coming down that way, so it's a safety Mando, which I am totally fine with. This hole is sponsored by Sullivan Tipton. If you don't know Sullivan or Sully, you need to check him out on Instagram at bama.disc.golf. Awesome kid. Big bomber. Recently sponsored by Discraft. He's on the underground team. This kid can throw like a backhand 500 feet, forehand like 400, 450 feet, plays in Florida where he goes to college. Awesome stuff. Can't wait to see what his future is like. It's looking pretty bright, Sully. Keep up the good work and thank you for the support. Alrighty guys, and that's the front 9. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the back 9 here. So hole 10 is par 3, 429 feet. Pretty long hole for a par 3, but it is downhill, so it plays more like 360 to 370, I would say. And especially with a wind here, it might help you really get to the basket. This hole is sponsored by none other than Noah Cronin of Daily Disc Golf. Noah has been super helpful in the last year or two, helping me with my channel, giving me some feedback, answering questions that I have. So thank you, Noah, for the support. Make sure that you check out his channel, guys. He is awesome. He plays in the New England area, so a lot of wooded golf up there. He's got some really cool videos and reviews. Hole 11 is a par 3 206-foot shot. This is a really cool hole. No real risk for OB on this hole, just hitting a tree. This hole is sponsored by none other than Løft Discs. Løft Discs is a great company. Make sure you check them out. And they want to give a message to all of my listeners here. Løft Discs is having a worldwide retailer release at the end of July for their super popular hydrogen putter. This disc has not hit the market yet. It's just been on their Kickstarter campaign, and so many of you have helped them out in making their company successful thus far. So if you want to get some more of those putters in this summer, make sure you follow them on Instagram and YouTube. Hole 12 is a par 3 220-foot shot with OB fence and a backyard behind it, so you definitely don't want to go long on this hole. This is a great little hole here, super technical, got to avoid all these trees. This hole is again sponsored by Robbie C Disc Golf. Robbie, thank you so much for sponsoring 2 holes. I appreciate all the hard work that you do with your awesome tips and tricks and ways for all of us to improve our disc golf game. Thank you, Robbie, for your support. If you don't follow Robbie on Instagram or YouTube, make sure you check him out. Hole 13 is a par 3, 373-foot shot. Probably plays more like 330 to 340 because it is downhill. This is a really cool shot with the low ceiling and sort of a tucked away basket. This has casual water right now because of all the rain we've had, not OB. There is OB Creek long. I doubt anyone's going to go long on this hole, not because of the length, but just because it's really hard to get there with all the brush. This hole is sponsored by Sammy Sain. Sammy, thank you so much for sponsoring this hole. Sammy is an awesome supporter of the channel. I've talked with him probably for about a year now on Instagram, just giving him feedback and helping him become a better disc golfer, and he has improved drastically. Sammy, keep up the great work. Keep working hard. Super proud of you, and thank you so much for your support. Hole 14 is a par 3, 205-foot hole. This is a really interesting hole. There is a gap up the middle, but most people take the gap to the right with an overstable fairway driver. That's the gap that I play at least. This is the first of 2 holes that we'll be playing that have a concrete tee pad here. This hole is sponsored by Wave Tools Therapy. Thank you, Wave Tools Therapy, again for sponsoring a second hole on this skins match. I really appreciate the support. Make sure, guys, you use discount code GLADIATORDG15 and get some awesome physical therapy kits, and take care of your body, and you'll be able to play disc golf for a lot longer and stay healthier. Hole 15 is a par 3, 212-foot hole. This is a super gettable ace run. I almost aced it last week. Super fun hole. Definitely, for me, a putter downhill shot. This hole is sponsored by Emmanuel Castellanos. Again, Manny, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you for continuing to support this channel and me, and I hope that somebody walks away with an ace on this hole. Hole 16 is by far the longest hole on this course. It's a par 4, 554 feet. Super long hole, but a lot of fun. There is an OB Creek that wraps around the entire basket or the entire hole, but if you play conservative and stay in the middle of the fairway, you really don't run the risk of going in the water. If you hyzer out early on your drive, you will more than likely end up in the creek. If you mess up your approach shot, it's very possible to end up in the creek. However, if you just are short or something, you'll be fine. Hole 16 is sponsored by Reese Robinson, and Reese has a very special message for someone in particular on this card.
Hey Stuart, I hope you've won a skin by now. Just in case you haven't, I've sponsored this hole, and I threw in an extra $5 for longest drive. So let's see if your noodle arm can win this one.
Hole 17 is probably one of the most unique holes on this course from the long pin position. It is a par 3, 299-foot shot, and it is a complete blind shot with bushes lining the entire fairway. You cannot go early on this shot. You have to stay to the right. Now, the challenge of this 300-foot hole is the OB ravine about 10 feet in front of the basket. So it is super gettable for the 2. You just have to trust that your disc, that you've put enough on it and that it's going to fade enough to avoid the trees and get over the creek. Or you can play the safe par shot and just lay up right there. This hole is sponsored by Gary Whited. Gary, thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. Gary is a supporter of the channel and hopes we've all had fun thus far in the tournament, in the skins match. Thank you, Gary. It's been a blast. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. All right, we've made it to the very end. Hole 18 is a par 3, 217-foot shot, another aceable hole. This is a really cool shot. Definitely a lot of ace runs happen on this hole. This hole has OB Creek long, but you got to go pretty long and really mess up your shot to go OB on this one. This hole is sponsored by Mike Thomas of MG Thomas Electric LLC. Mike, thank you so much for sponsoring this hole. If you guys are ever in the Atlanta area, make sure you check out Mike. If you live in the Atlanta area, make sure you reach out to Mike for any electric needs. I love going to Atlanta. I have a lot of friends in Atlanta. Mike, next time I'm in town, I'm going to reach out to you and hopefully we can play a round of disc golf. As we wrap up this whole preview video, I just want to say a special thank you to all of my sponsors. Thank you so much, guys, for taking care of this channel and supporting us financially with this skins match. It could not be done without you. I really, really appreciate it so much. I'm so pumped. Truthfully, I have no idea how well I'm going to play between working on most of the recording, trying to put stuff on Instagram stories. So, by the way, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Gladiator Disc Golf. You'll be able to see footage throughout the day there. So between those two things and recording, I don't know how much money I'm actually going to win. I'm just so pumped that this is happening. Thank you so much, guys, for all of the support. I can't wait to go out and play tomorrow. It's going to be great. It was supposed to be raining, but it looks like Texas weather is starting to clear up, so we may not have to play in the rain. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, guys, have a great round.